Hello. This tutorial is going to show you how to get started creating an animated comic strip with Google Slides. So I'm just going to walk you through the first steps of that. We're going to be working out of slides. All right. And I always teach students to name their files as soon as they open something up. So I'm going to put digital comic strip or something like that. All right. So the first thing that we're going to need is we're going to need a setting or a background. So you can come over to your Google Images and we're going to look for whatever kind of backdrop you would use. For example, we might have a beach um, background. Okay. Now, if I search for beach background, I'm probably going to get photographs. I could make it animated. Either would work. Animated beach background, something like this looks good. Okay, and then all I have to do is I have to copy and come over and paste it into my slide, which I'm going to get rid of these fields here. I'm going to come over and do my Command V here, and then I just want to resize the background to make sure that it covers the slide completely. Okay. Sometimes reducing the view helps you do this a little bit quicker. Dropping this back to a 50 or so. All right. And then to make sure that I've got it covered completely, I can just go into present mode for just a minute and wait for a while for it to load. I'm not sure why it's taking so long for my picture to load there. See? There we go. Okay. So that looks pretty good. And then what we'll need to do next is we'll need to come over here and we'll need to go ahead and make several copies of the slides so we don't have to keep adding the background in. So I'm going to come over here and do a Command C and then a Command V, 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 V. So I'm just going to keep everything. Now you could change your setting on your comic strip, but right now we're just going to start out with one setting. So now that I've got a setting, I want to add a character. So back over in our image search, whatever character we're going to look for needs to be transparent. So let's say that I want to work with Bugs Bunny. Okay, come over here and I say Bugs Bunny transparent background. Or you could try Bugs Bunny PNG, which is a PNG file. So we don't want just Bugs' head, we want the whole body, and we don't want anything in the background. We just want a transparent character. So um, the way that you'll know that the character is transparent is that you have the gray and white checkerboard surrounding the character. So this one is a transparent image. This one is not. So if I was to copy and paste this one in there, it would not look good because it would be the character with a white background, and that's not what we want. We want the transparent background. So I'm going to go back to my images. That would work, but that's just his head, and that's going to be kind of weird if his head is bouncing around the beach. This one's perfect. All right, so I'm going to copy this image, and I'm going to come over and I'm going to paste it onto my background. Okay, and then resize it so it doesn't look like he's a mutant rabbit taller than trees and things. All right, all right. So, and then we can see if we go into present present mood. I'm in the mood to present. That looks pretty good. He's a little big, but that's okay. All right, so but we can do better than this. We can animate his entrance just like we animate text appearing on a slide. So I would just select the image and go to Insert Animation. Now by default, he's going to fade in. I can click play to see how that looks and then hit enter. I guess he could materialize like he's coming from this Enterprise. Or we could make him, we can do any of the other options. He could appear, he could fly in from the left or the right or from the bottom. Like if he flies in from the bottom, let's see how that looks just by hitting enter. That looks good. Okay. So maybe he just flies in. Um, he could, let's see what else we've got here. I think he can come in from the top, fly in from the top. See? Yep, there we go. I'm going to make it look like he just kind of teleported down. So that looks good. So if I just click anywhere outside the slide, then that animation should have saved. And then when I go into present mode, voila. Okay. Okay. All right. Now we want the character to say something. So we're still working off that first slide. Now we're going to go to insert shape, callouts, and find a speech bubble. And when you click, you're going to have to drag it to resize it. Okay. All right. And you can color the background of the speech bubble if you want to by using the little fill color. You don't have to. I mean, it's up to you. And then we could have him say, "What's up, Doc? Do you know what an inference is?" Or whatever content that you're working with, because we got to make sure that we keep this centered around content. All right. And I'm going to put my curriculum word in bold. But now the problem that we have if we go into present mode is that bugs the speech bubble is there before bugs is, which looks kind of weird. So maybe we want to animate the speech bubble. We select it and come over here and add animation. We can see that we want this to be after the bugs animation. So maybe we want that to just fade in. Um, by hitting enter, we can see that would look pretty good there. Okay, and then anywhere we click on the slide, and then okay, what's up, dog? Do you know what an inference is? Okay, so that looks pretty good. All right, and then maybe we want to go over to the next slide. So I'm going to copy bugs by doing a command C, and then I'm going to come over and put him here, roughly the same area. Okay, and this time I'm going to add a different character, maybe Daffy Duck. So I want to find Daffy Duck PNG or transparent background. And this looks transparent, so I'm going to copy this image and come over here, and I'm going to have him command V. Oh, he's way bigger than bugs, so we're going to have to resize him down. And then I want to animate him too. We're going to add, and I'm going to make him do something from the right. So we're going to have him fly in from the right. Okay, see how that looks? Okay. All right. And then we start from the top. Well, let's make sure that that's stuck. And let's see how our comic strip looks so far. What's up, Doc? Do you know what an inference is? See? And then, of course, we're going to need to give Daffy something to say. So I would go back to insert shape and then go to call out. I'm going to give him a different speech bubble. Oh, and to drag the tip of the bubble to get it to the correct place, just kind of mouse over the tip until you get the looks like a cross, and then you can click and drag the. And if Bugs' speech is green, maybe I could make Daffy's yellow or something. I don't know. Maybe he'll say, "Hello, stupid rabbit." And we're going to make that fade in too. Let's see. All right. So you kind of catch the drift. And then we have And he's going to say, you know, something that would help Bugs explain what an inference is. So we need to keep it centered around curriculum, like "Hello, stupid rabbit." Maybe Bugs could say, "Well, I can infer by his rude language that blah 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 blah," or something. Let me show you real quick the rubric that I came up with for this activity the other day. Let me see if I can find it. I should have had it up already. Let's see. Rubric for comic strips is right here. All right, so if you don't have a rubric or something in place, sorry, to go over with, and then they're just going to play around and they're going to make a cool comic strip. We got to make sure that there's standard alignment. I'll be glad to share this with you if you email me at ggriffin@Harnett. I'll be glad to share the rubric with you. Academic vocabulary, we want to make sure that they're using the academic vocabulary and using it correctly, I might add. Okay. Dialogue of characters is organic, reads like a real conversation, that type of thing, as opposed to being choppy or hard to read. Overall appearance counts, spelling and grammar. Just make sure that you've got something in place that will hold them accountable for the content, the meat of the lesson, because this is just an engaging way to get them to interact with the content. At the end of the day, if you have questions, you can email me at ggriffin. But this is something that I think the students would really think is a lot of fun.